I found a website with a free form for daily check-ins. I did have to sign up for a mailing of her members list, and once I did, it gave me access to this set of links for the check-in forms. I'm going to click here for the form, and it's going to make a copy in my Google Drive. A Google form has the ability to add pictures, add questions, add single choice answers, and fill in the blanks. This form has been preset by this teacher online, and I have to adjust the name of the file. So I'm going to call this Beginning of Day Daily Check-in. I may not want all of these questions. I certainly want my student's first and last name. It would probably be helpful to find out how the student is feeling today. And then this teacher had one that said, do you have anything to tell me? It can be about school or life as a long answer. If you don't want to include this, you can click on it and click the trash can. And it's the same for each one. This teacher asked, were they able to find all their work? Do they need help getting started with an assignment? And what questions do they have? Now that I've updated this to the way that I want it to be, I can use it in my Google Classroom. I'm going to create a homeroom class, and in my homeroom class, I may teach religion and English as well as being the homeroom. That often happens in the middle school. In my class work, I'm going to have this daily check-in form. Now, we talk about the Google Class Drive as a place where items are stored. When I made the copy of the form, it goes into my main drive. And here is the Beginning of Day Daily Check-in. What I'd like to do is I'd like to keep this Beginning of the Day Daily Check-in just in my homeroom. So I'm going to make a copy of that and then move it into my homeroom. You notice there's a little triangle next to my drive. If I click on it, it opens and shows other folders. One is called Classroom. And then there is a folder for each of my Google classes. So I'm going to click and drag this into the homeroom. I'm going to rename this by right-clicking and choosing Rename. And what I'll do is maybe call this Homeroom Daily Check-in. And you could do this with both the students that are in your class and also those who are remote. Before we are ready to assign this to our students, we're going to open that form and take a look at the settings. The gear provides settings. You can collect the email address, but you may not need that because it is the student in your homeroom. You can restrict the form to those just in your St. Michael's or whatever school it is, class. And you don't want to limit it to one response so that it can be used every day. And then you could let the students edit it after they submit. I would not show summary charts and text responses because you don't want the students to see each other's answers. This is a presentation. It's not a quiz. If you want, you can show a link to submit another response, but there's no reason to do that. And instead of having a canned standard confirmation message, you can write something personal. Now, this view is the form that the teacher edits. The eyeball lets you preview the form. This is the link that you'll share with your students. I'm going to highlight all of the form website address from the H in HTTPS all the way through view form, and then I'm going to right click and copy that link. That's what's going to go in your classwork folder. So let's create a daily assignment. This is the daily morning check-in. I'm going to add this as a link. There's not going to be any due date. It's ungraded. And you may have certain things that you want every day in your homeroom. So let's create a topic called daily. And it's going to get assigned to all the students. Now let's take a look at what this looks like for our students. Mrs. Woods student, Carol, gets up in the morning. She's ready for homeroom. She's going to go to her classwork, and she sees under her daily work the morning check-in. She'll click on that and then type in her first and last name. How's she feeling? Just one choice since it's a circle. And she'll say submit. And there's our little custom message. Thank you. Let's get started today. Now let's see how it looks like for her teacher, and we're going to make another little setting change. So under classwork, if I look at the morning check-in, I see that one student got assigned it. If I say view assignment, I see Carol here. We don't come here though to get the answers. We're going to go into our class drive folder. We'll go to our daily check-in form and take a look at our responses. Now, this is not bad for one student's response. We see that she said, I'm ready to work. It's Carol. She has nothing to respond to. Yes, she was able to find her work. Do you need any help with assignments? No. She has no questions. I don't find this as helpful as seeing the responses in a spreadsheet. So what I always do is I click here and create a spreadsheet out of the answers. Now you have a nice spreadsheet. You'll see it by date, the person in the order that they responded, how they're feeling, if they have any questions, and so on. If I click this star, I can make it a favorite item as well, which is really helpful in Google Drive sometimes because your drive may fill up with a lot of things your students share. So by doing that starred item, you can always come here and go directly to those daily check-in responses.